Hi everybody, it's Anna back with another Skyrim Wildlander mod pack Let's Play, following our permadeath adventures of Akai, the orc warrior lady. She specializes in two-handed weapons, heavy armor, and a little bit of combat archery as we saw last episode. I love this little cinematic shot of her riding on her horse with the big elk nearby. Honestly, I have no idea where I'm going. This is a super disorienting way to travel. I'm gonna switch views before a saber cat attacks us. Last episode we cleared out a whole bunch of bandit camps all around the Whiterun plains. We hit Redguard's retreat, Fort Greymoor, halted stream camp, and White River Watch. We cleared all of those out as part of a bunch of kind of random quests. Today we're going to start by warming up with this, just kind of a random missive quest board quest of getting this ring for this guy, and he lost and we're just going to go grab it and get a little bit of money for it. And then after that, we're going to head over to Swindler's Den, which is kind of the last of the major Whiterun bandit den areas. And we're going to go kill Kematu, who is the leader of the Alakir warriors there, which is part of the In My Time of Need quest, which is one of Skyrim's more well-known quests. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, but for now we're gonna go retrieve Ennis's gold amethyst ring from this little hunter outpost in the middle of the plains. I think Ennis lives in Rorikstead. We got the quest from the Whiterun quest board. You also probably saw that I have a quest in there from the companions, and that's because last episode at the very end, after I went back to town and sold everything, I actually had Akai join the companions. I think it's a really good fit for her, and we'll end up doing some companion quests down the road. And as part of that, I spent a bunch of the money that we earned on some skill trainers at the companions in two-handed and block and heavy armor. I think I might have grabbed a point in one-handed as well, just from turning in a quest with Amryn, who's a master level skill trainer of one-handed and Whiterun. And then Akai did level up. She hit level 10, kind of right after I finished filming the last episode, just from selling everything. And I got her the haggling perk, just so that way we can make a little bit more money and continue to spend money on trainers. And then as far as items go, nothing's really changed since last episode. Still rocking our ancient Nordic honed greatsword, which I sharpened between episodes. We still have our heavy bow from Bleak Falls Barrow. Same armor. Got the sure grip ring also from Bleak Falls Barrow. And then we're using Hajvar Iron Hand gauntlets. He's the bandit leader at White River Watch, and we killed him, and we're using his gauntlets now. A lot of potions, a lot of utility scrolls, got some extra food that we'll use before we hit Swindler's Den. Those are the big things there. But obviously before we do that, we're here at Greenspring Hallow to retrieve this ring that we got from the quest board. Looks like, it's funny, this is very clearly a hunter outpost, hunter blind kind of thing that didn't end so well for the poor hunter. You can see his corpse right there next to the bear. I honestly feel really bad about killing this bear, because this bear has honestly probably done nothing wrong. This bear just came back to his or her little bear den and was like, yo, there's a hunter living here. You killed my children. Anyway, now this dude's dead and the bear has just moved back in. So I don't know. I see if I can maybe avoid killing this bear. If I can just get to this chest, which is, oh my god, this bear is no, you are not getting to that chest. We can lure the bear over here. Ugh, I might have to kill this bear. I feel really bad about killing this bear. Bear's done nothing wrong. Ooh, the bear's moving away. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Ugh, I might have to kill this bear. Oh my god, maybe not. Run away! We did it! Oh, the bear gets to live and we get to complete the quest. I don't know why this bear is not chasing us, but I'm not super torn up about it. There's some furs you can get here. There's some mushrooms. You can loot the hunter. He sometimes has a good item on him, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. We're just happy we didn't get to kill that bear. This might be the first and only quest that Akai solves in her entire run series that does not involve any violence towards living creatures or dead creatures. The only thing we attacked that time was the chest. That's funny. I like this little theme that both Akai and I both feel bad about killing animals. It was the dog in the last episode, and this episode it's that bear. Let's switch gears though to a quest we are absolutely going to solve with a ton of violence, which is this In My Time of Need quest. So again, Swindler's Den is over here. It's kind of halfway between Rorikstead and Whiterun. The quest itself, In My Time of Need, you get this from Sadia, who is the barmaid at the Bannered Mare. And you learn about this quest because there's two Alakir warriors, these Redguard mercenaries. The guys they have curved swords. Obligatory curved swords. Shout out right here. Anyway, you meet them at the gates, you learn that they're looking for a Redguard, you go talk to Sadia, and then she hires you to kill these guys because they are allegedly Thalmor assassins, or assassins in the employ of the Thalmor. And Sadia's story is that she spoke out against the Altmeri Dominion, so the Altmeri Dominion hired these Alakir warriors to kill her. And Sadia's story just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really make sense with the lore that we know about Hammerfell, because Hammerfell is actually still fighting against the Altmeri Dominion. So there's no reason that someone who is speaking out against them in Hammerfell would suddenly be tracked down by a bunch of Alakir mercenaries. Like, the Thalmor operate openly in Skyrim. They'd probably just send an assassin to go kill her. Anyway, her story doesn't make a lot of sense. The other story that we're going to get at the end of this episode from the actual Alakir warriors themselves, that one makes a lot more sense. But we're still going to kill them. We'll talk about why as we learn their story. For now, let's just get inside the Swindler's Den bandit area and kill some bandits, then we'll talk more about the quest. I always like with these bandits who are like guarding the outposts, like, first off, why is there only one bandit here? If I was in charge of this, we would have at least 3 or 4. Second of all, why is this lady not doing anything? I'm like pointing a knocked bow at her and she's like, you gotta back off, buddy. Anyway, we'll give her a fighting chance here.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Maybe not. She's doing pretty good here. Managed to block both of those. God, she's pretty beefy. Oh, not that beefy. Alright, well, we gave her a chance. That's kind of the nicest thing we can do here, is give her a chance. Before we head inside, this is a really good reminder when you're traveling around Skyrim on horseback. Always make sure that your horse is in an area that's relatively safe, especially on the Whiterun plains, because there's always like a ton of saber cats and trolls and wolves and just other nonsense wandering around. And you don't want to come outside at the end of the quest and your horse is dead. So let's head inside. I'm going to pop my dumpling and my cheese bowl and have a little bit of water beforehand, get the lantern on. The bandits inside of Swindler's Den, they're not super difficult. Like, sometimes because we have that mod that adds random spawns, we can get a lot of them. But we're not going to spend too much time with them. We've already fought so many bandits in here. In this playthrough. So we're just going to kind of carve through them using some of our techniques. You can sneak through this and kind of be a little bit more stealthy, a little bit more tactical. You can hear some like little sound bites of these different people. Akai is not very stealthy though, so we're just going to kind of run up in here. Crossbowman right there. Deal with the crossbowman first. We got a battle axe guy. He's got light armor though, so it's an easy kind of bash kill. Okay, we hear people coming this way. Let's do some combat archery on these guys. Come on. Oh my god, I'm so bad with bows. I'm really bad with them. Oh, speaking of bows, let's run down this guy. Oh god, I don't know how that guy hit me. Oh god. That guy blocked it and his head just came fucking off. Jesus. Alright, that was a little sloppy. I don't love that this guy hit me. I'm surprised that he clipped me, but I wasn't able to clip him. Anyway, let's just like shake off that last fight. It was, like I said, a little bit sloppy. This next fight in this room, beyond this room here, the reason I'm sneaking is because if I don't sneak, these enemies are going to rush into this tunnel here, and they're all going to get clogged up inside of it, which is actually probably really good for a Dead is Dead run, because it makes it easier to fight them one at a time using our funneling technique we've talked about in previous episodes. But that's not very fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a Restore Stamina, decent potion, a health decent, and a Fortify 2-hand, and I'm just going to run into this room and see what happens. Take her down. Take that guy down. Take that guy down. I got an archer here. Good shot by that archer. There's more people coming. Ugh, I was going to try to do some combat archery. Come on. There we go. Oh jeez, eating a warhammer kind of sucks. That guy's done. Jesus, lady. Chill out, lady. His head went fucking flying. I love this, like, thought of this lady with, like, this elf with her bow, and she's just, like, slashing us repeatedly, like using all of her sword skills, and we're like this 280-pound orc lady, like probably more. We're deadlifting like, I don't know, 500 pounds or something, and we're just like, yo lady, you are annoying. And we just like chop her head off. We hit her parrying arm so hard that it detaches her head. Oh, that's so grisly. Okay, so not gonna worry about all that. We're not gonna debrief the bandit situation too much. Like I said, we fought a ton of bandits before. Let's talk about the Alikir warriors.
Proving your strength.
So just as kind of a quick quest detail, so we could like stop right down here and talk to Kematu. The quest kind of wants you to do that. In fact, if I go back down there, it'll actually trigger a dialogue and he'll talk to me from that ledge that's above. We don't want to do that if we're going to fight him here, because that puts us in kind of a crappy position where these guys can just kind of come down. Like, we want to get some first strikes on them. Other tactical notes. The easiest way to finish this quest... Actually, let me loot this chest. It's funny that you can loot this chest without talking to this guy. Nothing super great, but some stuff we can sell. So Kematu is the guy here who's not wearing a hood, and then these are all of his Alikir warrior buddies. The easiest way to finish this quest, if you want to kill Kematu and you want to save Sadia, is just agreeing to help Kematu, lure him back to the city, lure Sadia out of the city, and then just backstab Kematu by the Whiterun stables. It might count as a murder. I don't actually think it does, though. Like, I feel like I've done that before, and I've still been able to pray at the Shrine of the Divines. Anyway, that's an easy way to finish the quest and still get all of Kematu's loot. But if you want to get all the Alikir warriors' loot as well, you're going to have to kill them here in Swindler's Den. And there's sort of like 3 ways to do that. One way we could do that is we can just walk up to either the regular warriors or walk up to Kematu and just have no dialogue and just immediately attack them. That definitely works, and it's a great way to get some easy kills in there. Akai's not going to do that. It's not quite her fighting style. She's a little bit more hands-on, head-to-head, but it is an option. Another option is if you're using either stealth archery or spells, you can kind of hide back here, shoot 1 or 2 of them, lure them down this way, and then as they get into this cave and they come around the corner, you can just blast them with spells. That also works. You can do the same thing, luring them down to this cave over down there. You can even activate those traps, those like hunting snare traps or whatever, the bear traps that are over by the entrance, and they'll walk through them. The other way to fight them, which we're going to do, is honestly the hardest way to do it, but it's definitely the most fun and kind of leads to the most cinematic video experience, is just walking up to Kematu, talking with him, telling him that you're going to kill him anyway, and then just hopping right into the battle. So that's what we're going to do. As far as talking to Kematu goes, if you're going to do that plan, I honestly recommend going up on that ledge over here. Excuse me. Like, if we're up on this ledge, it's a little bit easier to kill them one at a time. But I revel in the chaos, so we're just gonna go right here surrounded by these people and have this conversation. It's like, hey Kematu, what's up buddy?
Stay your hand, warrior. It's no secret
He's
why
not
you're
a
here.
bad guy.
And
He
you have
seems like a
proven your
pretty,
skill in combat.
pretty honorable warrior.
Let us talk a moment. And no one else needs to
He
die.
has the
I think we can
universal
all profit from the situation
universal
in which we
sign of a
find
badass
ourselves.
warrior in a
My
fantasy
men
game,
will not attack
which
you
is a
if you
scar.
lower your weapons.
It's funny. Oh my god, we have the option to rob him. Oh, it's really funny. That's from the Speechcraft mod that gets added to Wildlander. I think it's really funny that I can rob this guy now because my sword is out. I'm sure if I do that, he'll just attack me. So I'm just going to actually go through these dialogue options. So as of now in the quest, the only thing we know is that Sadia has told us that these guys are Thalmor-employed assassins who are there to kill her, and we're gonna kill them instead. And we're just gonna tell Kematu that here.
Of course. Senpai, what is it
And
that
then he
she's
just
calling
kind of
herself
like,
these days?
I don't know,
Shazra?
he's a little chummy.
Sadia? One of those, correct? Did she appeal to your sense of honor?
Just a little
Your
chummy
greed?
right
A more
here.
base need,
Like
perhaps.
talking to us like we're buddies.
It doesn't matter.
And he's like,
No
yo,
doubt she's
I
convinced
already
you
know
that
what
she's
I
the
know the
victim.
score. I know
But do
what's
you know
going
why
on.
we pursue her?
Anyway, we just don't have a lot of dialogue options here. This is like where Bethesda's writing went from like Fallout New Vegas levels of like lots of options to Skyrim levels of like, oh, we have 2 options right here, and it's kind of it. Yeah, we'll share the info that we have with Kematu, and he'll give us the other side of the story, which is way more plausible and much more aligned with what we know about the lore.
Assassins? No, nothing so crass.
Yeah, he's like, no, we're
Sadia,
not assassins.
as you know her, is wanted by the noble houses of Tanith for treason.
And then he gives
We
us
were hired
this
to see her
story.
return to Hammerfell for her crimes.
It's like, it's very
You
specific.
can help us with that.
It's very
and make
logical.
sure no one else gets hurt.
It lines up with the timeline. Like, this would have happened, like, probably 20 or 30. Honestly, I think it's, like, 30 years ago. But, like, who knows? They may have been chasing her that entire time. You can ask about her crime. And, again, he gives you a very specific, plausible answer.
She sold the city out to the Aldmeri Dominion. Were it
And,
not for her
and
betrayal,
this kind of
Tanith
makes
could have held its
sense
ground in the
because
war.
there's
The other noble
it's
houses discovered her
unlikely
betrayal, and she fled.
that you would
They
be
want her brought back
arrested or,
alive.
you
The
know,
resistance
marked
against
for
the
death
Dominion is alive and well in Hammerfell.
for speaking out
and
against
they want justice.
against the Altmeri Dominion in Hammerfell. And, like, he talks about it, and you can read about it in in-game lore books. So, anyway, he's probably telling the truth. I actually don't think that's a particularly interesting question here. I think it's pretty obvious that Kematu's telling the truth and that Sadia is lying. I think a much more interesting question is, even knowing that Sadia is lying, would your character still help her? And in Akai's case, the answer is yes, because Akai is a sellsword and a mercenary, and it's really bad form for her to betray her employer. Like, that just doesn't really work for Akai's, like, long-term goals of getting contracts across the continent. So that might be a reason to help out Sadia. Another reason to help out Sadia might be that your character believes in second chances, and if Sadia did do these crimes, which again she probably did, they would have happened about 30 plus years ago, and it's been a long time, and it's not like Sadia's like crushing it. It's not like the Thalmor gave her thousands of gold. It's funny, I didn't know that this guy would stop talking to us if we just like didn't talk to him back. I hope it doesn't break anything. Anyway, it's not like Sadia is doing that great either, so she's probably just like on the run, hanging out as some fugitive with the Hammerfell warrant on her head. Akai doesn't really care too much about the second chances thing, but she is a sellsword, so she is gonna fulfill her contract.
What do you need?
Let's just
She sold this
quickly
the other noble.
fast
The
forward
resistance
through
against
this.
the Dominion is alive and well.
Oh my god.
Of course. Did
We have
she
to do this whole
no doubt she's
conversation
convinced you
again.
that she's the
Okay,
victim.
so we're just gonna tell
But
this
do you
guy
know
that
why we pursue her?
we don't care about any of this. We're gonna kill him anyway. The fight tactics for this is we're gonna pop Berserker Rage, which is the orc racial ability. It's super powerful. It's really fun. And we're gonna pop some of our potions. We're gonna pop our stamina, our health potion, and I think our armor potion is the other one I have hotkeyed. And then we're just gonna wade into battle, and we're not gonna be super tactical. We're just gonna kind of eat hits and just chop people to pieces. It's gonna be super fun.
I'd hoped we could work something out. That you would see reason.
I
we
probably
could
should
avoid
have used
having
the
to kill
scroll
you.
before this.
Very well then.
Too late now.
If that's the way you want to play
Okay,
it.
let's fucking
will.
go, bitches. Okay, so we got Kematu dead. Let's like Cut that guy down. Let's get that guy down there. That guy's overextended. Let's get him. Ooh, lots of them coming in right there. Oh, we hit that guy so hard his limb fell off. We'll do the same thing here. Oh, Berserker Rage is so fun. Oh my god, this guy's just running away. Where are you going, buddy? Berserker Rage is so fun. I just love the image of like all 7 of these people think they have you surrounded and that they're gonna beat you, and then you're just like this utter tank, this like massive force of destruction. And like we popped a potion, and as a result of the potion and the damage mitigation of Berserker Rage, we took no damage. Super fun fight though. Honestly, not too much to debrief. I think the biggest thing to debrief about that is that with Berserker Rage on, especially fighting humanoid enemies like this, you really don't want to be wasting your time by kiting or moving around too much. You want to get as many hits in as possible. But we also don't want to get bash locked by these guys, which can definitely happen if we're just randomly swinging. So you'll notice I did a lot of like mini corner cuts, and then I'd slice in at the end of their swing. We were able to kill a bunch of them that way. And then because our hits deal so much damage in Berserker Rage, I just backed up and did some power attacks, knowing they'd block them, but they were still hard enough to kill them even through the block. So overall, super grisly fight right there. Yuck. It's a whole bunch of blood, just buckets of blood everywhere. Well, that's the end of the episode. This is probably our last Whiterun Plains episode before we go on and hit some other areas of the map. The big payout for killing these guys is obviously all of them have some really cool gear. They got the Major Squire amulets, they have Frost Shield boots, they have this Alakir Garb of Stamina that makes you immune to paralysis. They have a True Shot helm that gives you a ranged buff, and then they have the Major Wielding rings that give you one-hander boosts. So we're going to end up looting all of these guys. And then poor Kematu, I don't even know where he is in this pile. Here he is. Poor Kematu doesn't have the hood, but he does have a slightly more upgraded version of the Squire amulet and the ring. I tend to just loot all of them, and you know, we can sell all this for thousands of gold, so it's a really good way to get a payout from this episode. Oh my god, what happened to Akai's face? Like, oh my god, she's got like weird skin tone. What is going on here? Hold on, let's show race menu. This is a weird bug, but showing race menu, yeah, that'll fix it. There we go. That's our orc lady we know and love. Let's zoom out here. We can oh, this is so perfect. Like all the carnage, just Akai just standing here. Well, thank you everybody for watching the episode, and I hope you all enjoyed. We got to do some final Whiterun bandits, and then we just got to like go full on Berserker Juggernaut mode and just massacre all these Alakir warriors. Just a whole bunch of limbs chopped off everywhere. It's super gross. I'll figure out what we're doing for next time, but thanks again for watching. If you have any feedback or comments or questions, let me know below or find me on Discord. I'll see y'all soon. Bye!